Hello, this is Terry from electronictechbytes.com, and this is a follow-up video to this 858D hot air rework station. Sorry it's taken me so long to get to make the video, but shortly after I got this and did the video, I ended up getting a 3D printer, and that's taken up a whole lot of my time learning how to use it and making things. I might do a video on it later. But anyway, this is going to just show the safety features, or perhaps the lack of safety features of this unit. So what we're going to do is, first of all, is we're going to take the back off of this. And we're going to check and make sure that it does have a fuse in it, which actually the fuse is right here. And it is, looks like a 10 amp, 250 volt. So anyway, going on. We're going to check and see that this thing has the wiring right and is grounded. So this comes off, and then this comes out. Now they do have a ground here, which is good. In case you want to use a grounding strap on this, you'll have that. And a lot of the things that I've looked at online will have this wired wrong. So what we're going to do is make sure that it's wired correctly, and to make sure it's safe to use. So yes, we're going to take this thing completely apart. And one of the things we're going to check is the wiring on this to make sure it's wired right, because a lot of the sorting stations and rework stations, the hot air rework stations, they send the wrong cable. They send one that is wired for European, which I don't know over there if it's if there's any difference in it or what have you. But there's a look at the inside of that. They do have a ground, it seems, right here, and so they've got a wire coming from here into this plug, which should go to the end of this thing here. That's the actual hot air gun. And then they've got a ground that goes back into somewhere where I'm at here. Green, yellow stripe. Yeah, it's the one that goes to the back of this, that part I showed you earlier, right here. So, but now the question is, do they actually have a ground? Yeah, it comes off the main power outlet here and goes over to there, then comes in here. So it's grounding this, but where that's painted, it may or may not be a good ground. We'll just have to check it. But everything else looks fine on this. I did see one video where someone had found that there was a ground lug here, somewhere through here, that it wasn't, it almost shorted against a pin, but that looks fine. So now what I'm going to do is take this top off. So that we can see down on this part of it. So it looks like the ground comes in trying to get that down closer, but unfortunately the arm won't let it come down. But anyway, looks like the ground comes in through the outlet from here, goes to this wrist strap grounding point, and then comes over to this part here. And like I say, there may be I'll have to check to make sure that there's continuity over through here, through this where it's painted and everything. And then it comes up and goes over to this, or I guess this comes back, and then this green wire is the part that, like I said, goes to the tip of the hot air gun here. So we'll check that. And that looks like all of that. So now what I want to check, first of all, this is a typical outlet grounding for a wall plate, and you can see here that the black hot or live wire comes in on this side. So it's the small part of the outlet here. The white wire, or the neutral, comes over and goes on this side. And then of course you got your ground wire going to the green. Now what we're going to do is look at this plug that came with this thing and see if the actual cord is grounded right. So to see if it, comes out of here and goes to the proper side that it's supposed to. Now, this doesn't tell, but on here, and it might be hard to see this, we'll try to get that to focus, but it probably won't. Anyway, this part here is the live, because there's an L there, there's a grounding sign here, and there's an N for neutral here. And then on this plug, it doesn't say which one's which, but if we look at this, if we turn this way, and if this is going to be plugged in like so, then this should be the live, and it should come out on the live that's on this side, which should be here. So we're going to take our meter, or I'm going to take my meter, and like I say, you can't see it, but I do have my meter set on continuity. So according to this is live, which means this part should be the live part. Now, like I said before, there's a little L here. I don't know if you can see it, but if I put this in here, there's no continuity whatsoever. But if I put it on what they're calling the neutral side, and I hope you can hear that, there's actually continuity going through that. So the wire is reversed. So if I go on this side of this, which should be the neutral, and then put it on what they're calling the neutral over here, nothing. But if I go to the live side, there's the tone again. So if you get one of these, my suggestion is don't use the cord that came with it. because it is definitely wired wrong. One could probably cut this off and then go to the hardware store and just get another 3-prong plug and then rewire it and use it. Or you could use the wire in it for something else. It's hard to say. But I would not suggest using this cord that came with this unit because it is wired improperly. Now, here is another cord that I have. I've got tons of these. Well, not tons, but bunches. And if we look again at this drawing, we're going to do the same thing. And this one isn't marked on this end as well either, but we know that this side should be live. Now this one also is marked. I don't know if you can be able to see that either. I know that doesn't help much, but anyway, we do have a live on this side here. So if we take the other probe and we put it on the live side that it's saying, then we do have continuity through it. And if I go through the other side over here, which is the neutral, and then I put it on the neutral side here, there's an N. Hopefully you can hear that tone. So this cord is actually wired right. So like I say, the other cord that came with it, don't use it. It's wired wrong. Find you a different cord. Make sure that it's wired right. And then what we want to do is I'm going to plug this up, hook this up, and make sure that everything's coming through the way it's supposed to. So give me just a minute. And I'm not going to put this back together just for the fact that I want to be able to show you what is going on with this thing. I know I have screws everywhere, but I pretty much remember where they go. So anyway, let me get this cord hooked up. Right, I've got another one here. Just use it. I'm going to double check it since I already had it plugged in there. And that should be live. And it is. And then this should be the neutral. Alright. So this cord is good. Plug it up. Plug this in here. Actually, before I do that, let's check the ground on this thing. Make sure that it's grounding the way it's supposed to. So we're going to take our meter. And that's good. And then we're going to go to, well, it'll be kind of hard to do. Well, we can do it here because it's got solder on it. So that's grounded. Then we're going to come over here to this side. And I know this is going to be hard to do. But it's grounded. And this isn't put together, so we're probably not going to get any kind of ground through any of this, especially where this is painted. But we do have a ground. Like if I go to these screws, it's grounded. So hopefully when this is put back together, these screws that's holding this case together will provide a good ground so that one doesn't get shocked. So now we're going to switch this over to, actually, you know what? Let me get a different meter that y'all might be able to see. Take it out of the stand. can probably see it. Speaking of my 3D printer, I found this file on Thingiverse and printed it. It's made just for this meter. This little thing here was made for it too, to hold the test leads. So, like I say, I might do some 3D printer stuff later on, but right now I've got other things I've got to do. This, of course, and then I've got a television I want to fix. Hopefully it'll be next. And then I have a little 7-inch Samsung tablet I'm going to try to fix. But anyway, we're going to put this on AC 250 volts, and hopefully we should have power coming through. Showing about 140 volts. I don't know if you can see that or not. My test lead's in the way. About 130. So that's normal. And then so that shouldn't have all that wired right. Now, here's a power switch. Okay, that's showing an error because I don't have the other thing hooked up. However, let's disconnect that because I want to show you the ground. Now this has to be screwed on snug, and we'll use the other meter for the continuity. Well, if I'll switch this lead back to this, I will. Okay, so we want to check a ground from the ground plug to the tip of this. So we do have a ground there. So let's get that out of the way. And then we'll plug this back up. And then we'll turn this on again. Make sure I don't have any metal shorting out anything. Now, you can actually hear this fan kicking on and see that this is heating up. But if we lay this in this cradle, it's supposed to turn off. Okay, so what it's doing, it won't cut off yet. The temperature is dropping on it. And when it reaches 100, it should cut off. All right. And if you need to, once it does that, it's still probably going to be around 90 degrees or so. But if you need to use it, all you do is pick it up. And the temperature starts climbing. And of course, now, something I'll show you. I don't know if you can see this or not. I don't want to get that directly on that, but so anyway, basically this is all I was wanting to show you was if you get one of these, sorry about the noise, if you get one of these rework stations, take your ohm meter, check the cable, because some have said that they've got the cable, the correct cable, and some said they haven't. So if it's wired improperly, don't use it, because then your neutral will be on the fuse. If the fuse blows, then you still got a live wire inside of it, and between that and the ground you could get a bad shock out of it. So I hope this helps. I'm gonna let this cool off and then I'll put it back together. But just want to say thanks for watching, and sorry it took so long. Like I said, I got a 3D printer and I've been wanting one for a long time. That just took up all of my time. But once this thing shuts off, when it reaches 100, I would let it cool down a little bit before I actually switched it off. But anyway, I'll have another video up soon. Like I say, I've got a television. The EEPROM chip is bad in it from what I've gathered. I've already ordered the chip. I just haven't had a chance to fix it yet. I have a Samsung tablet that I want to try to replace the charging port on. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll try to make sure that it doesn't take near as long as what it did for this one. I'll see you in the next one.